Welcome back to the video, guys. Just doing a little cleaning here on the reloading bench tonight. Got a Pieta copy of an 1860 Army Colt there. I've also got a Uberti 1849 Wells Fargo pocket model. The Wells Fargo model is different from the standard pocket model as it has no loading lever on the barrel here, for those of you who are unfamiliar. But anyway, it's kind of an impromptu video tonight. Been needing to clean these. Shot them the other day and didn't have time to clean them right away as I had to get ready for work. So what I tend to do when I'm not going to be able to clean them immediately, guys, if you're looking for a little tip that always works for me, is I love this ballast all right here. Now, where I'm at, Central Georgia, you can't buy this on the shelf anywhere, unfortunately, so I have to order it in on Amazon. But this stuff is great. I just disassemble my revolvers in a pan here. Just use these cheap little tin-foil pans you can get from Walmart or Publix, Dollar Store, wherever you go. And I just disassemble all the metal parts. Aside from the brass, I just leave these up here and wipe them down. And the wood, of course. Just disassemble them and give everything a good spray and just let it sit. It'll keep anything from rusting and corroding and all that good stuff. And just to prove what I'm talking about, these have been sitting here since last Sunday, I believe. Today is Friday for me, and again, I haven't cleaned these yet, but I'll just run this down the board here, and you'll see it's just going to be covered in powder residue. There's no rust or anything. As you can see there, it's just black from black powder residue, no rust or anything. So this works great for me, guys. Again, you can try and you know, experiment, see what works for you, but I don't have any problem with this method, so that's what I go with. Let me reach up here and grab some 45 caliber swabs here. Let me see what else we got. Got a couple here. Just kind of got an array of swabs I like to clean everything with. Got the small ones. Got some 45 caliber ones here. And for the chambers, often these 357 swabs work really well. Also got a couple of brass brushes, or copper brushes, and some jags here, guys. And I just kind of like to sit here and relax in the evening, clean these. With these black powder revolvers, you really have to be careful with the nipples back here, in my experience. These, if you're not careful, these nipples here will get seized up in there in the chamber if you don't take some preventative measures, so to speak. So I like to go, when I clean them, I like to put some of the, let's see what I have. I like to put a little bit of this Loctite LB8008. This is a copper-based anti-seize. This is basically what Glock uses on their new pistols. If you've ever taken one apart and look in the slide, you see the copper color stuff. This is what it is. So I'll take just a small dab of this and put it on those nipples, and I don't have to clean them every time I shoot. I just clean them every now and then. I'm not going to clean them tonight, but you'll find it's much easier to get those nipples out if you just put a little bit of that on there. So that's what I like to do there. And for tonight, just gonna focus on kind of cleaning these chambers out and just swabbing them out. You can see what we've got in here. It's usually pretty nasty. It's not too bad. Not too bad. If you guys could look in here, it's really not too bad on here. It's kind of like to swab these out real good. And a lot of times what I'll do is if I have time to clean on the day of, I'll put these in the sonic cleaner I have below me here, just a little Harbor Freight sonic cleaner. And that does a really good job. That's pretty dirty there. We'll come back to that in a minute. We can go over here and grab one of these 45 caliber swabs. And we're on the 1860 Army here. Just gonna run that down, kind of get that started, run that down in there. Just kind of swab that out really well. There we go. And we'll usually get something to push that the rest of the way through. Got a little punch here, push that on down. There we go. As you can see, just powder residue and other nastiness. No rust though, nothing like that. And if you just look down the board from that one pass through, you can see how much cleaner we are already. You know, you notice no leading or anything like that in there. Really clean. This is a great method I've found. just soak them in this ballistol. And that bore is basically clean. I could go back together with that, no problem. So pretty much done with that. And here I just like to wipe this down. Go get some powder Fallon in here. You can kind of feel around. This one still actually has some assembly grease on it. I'm just gonna kind of wipe some of that off. You can take this all the way down and clean that loading lever there. I don't think I'm gonna bother with that too much tonight, but that's really smooth, so I'm not too worried about it. I do like to take one of these swabs and kind of go down right in here. Excuse me there. Right inside of here and just kind of swab in there where your wedge goes for the barrel. Sometimes you get a lot of stuff in there. I just like to kind of swab that out real well. Kind of swab around here, around the forcing cone. Just clean that up real well. And otherwise, you just kind of got a greasy barrel now. So I'll just take my rag and wipe that down. And this ballistol is great for keeping everything clean and rust free. I just wipe everything down really well. Just clean that up. No rust or anything is going to have a chance of getting in anything like this with this ballistol. This stuff is great. You can use it on wood, metal, leather, anything, as the bottles, or the can rather says. You can use it on literally anything, and they're definitely not lying to you on there. I think I will actually pull this loading lever out just to do a quick inspection, because I actually haven't had it out of this particular revolver. I actually got this one last weekend. Wasn't really in the market for an 1860 Army, but a deal came up near me that I couldn't pass up. The guy even threw in this whole jar of cast bullets. I believe they're for 357 Magnum. I only measured one of them. They're definitely not for this, but these were thrown in for free. He also gave me 8 cans of RWS musket caps and a near full jar of 777 black powder substitute. The guy claimed that he just doesn't shoot black powder or isn't into it and so on, so his loss my gain, I guess. So I certainly took that off of his hands. And with all that, I've only got about 280 bucks and everything, the revolver, the caps, all of that for 280 bucks. I guess you just always never know what you're gonna find out there, guys. As I've mentioned, I think I mentioned in a previous video, I'm gonna be going to the Civil War show up near Atlanta. Again, I'm near Central Georgia, so they're having a Civil War show up near Atlanta. Just a couple of, or next weekend, or a week from tomorrow, a week from today rather, it starts on Friday. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there till Saturday because of work and so on, but that's all right. It is what it is. I'm definitely gonna go. I'm in the market for a 1861 Springfield rifle musket. Perhaps an 1863. I'd rather have the 61 before they went to they got rid of the barrel band springs. Prefer to have the 61 with the barrel band springs before they went to the 63 variant with the without the springs. They tend to kind of walk on you when you shoot. They can anyway, from what I understand. And I just kind of like the look of the band springs anyway, so definitely looking forward to getting one of those. Hopefully I can land one at the show. Would certainly be very, very cool. So we're just gonna pop this. Like I said, guys, just decided to pull that out just to check it. I haven't actually had this one completely down, as I just got it last weekend. So all you gotta do is just pop this little screw back in. You get everything to line up. And be back in business. Here we go. These little screwdrivers here, these pro grade screwdrivers, you might be able to see. It's a small ratchet screwdriver. It comes with an assortment of bits. These are great, like you know, gunsmithing screwdrivers, forgive me guys, because they ratchet and they also lock into a fixed position where they don't ratchet like your standard screwdriver. And they're great for, like, to put a little drop of this ballistol in there, there's a little bit of lube. They're great for this kind of stuff, disassembling guns, reassembling guns, just really good. I'll kind of wipe that down and let that sit to the side until we go back to reassemble the whole thing. That wedge likes to pop out, so that's pretty well clean and ready to go. Again, just a Beautiful bore here. Probably run a jag through that before we finish all the way up, but that's good for now. I also like to take my screws that I take out of the frame to get it off of the grip frame, and just kind of put those in here. Just give them a little wipe down. You know, they can get rusty too. You don't want that, so I got those set to the side. There's the action here, and it's not too dirty. Got a little bit on the frame here up towards the top. Kind of just hit that with a little brass brush here. Just like to kind of brush that out a little bit. Make sure it's brass or copper brush so you're not going to scratch your frame up. It's not too bad. It's got a little bit of black powder stuck out there. Take a little brass pick and just kind of scrape that away a little bit. There we go. Since it's been sitting in that ballast stall, it's really soft. You can just kind of scrape it a little bit and take your brush and hit it. Just brush that away. Same thing with the hammer here. You got a little bit that gets on the hammer and down in here. Just scrub that out really well. Really nothing to it. That ballast stall kind of acts like a neutralizer and just kind of neutralizes that black powder in my experience. You just don't get any kind of rusting or corrosion or any of that. If you take these out and you don't clean them, it will not take long. You'll come back and you'll have all types of corrosion and rust and just not a good situation, guys. So just always, if you're gonna shoot these, plan on cleaning them same day. If you can't clean them same day, do something like I'm talking about. Just soak them down in a good ballast stall bath. Maybe ballast stall mixed with water is a really good thing as well. I just sprayed some regular ballast stall on them this time. Like I said, I was kind of on a bit of a time crunch there. Just kind of wipe that down really good. Like I said, not real dirty this time. I only shot a handful of times the other day as I was shooting a bunch of guns and kind of trying to make time for everybody. So just gonna wipe this down well. Kind of just do a little inspection, brush out where we need to. Like I said, that ballast stall gets in there and kind of neutralizes any powder or anything you may miss. Really don't usually have a lot of trouble with it getting way down inside of here, unless I've been doing a lot of shooting, which I haven't on this last trip, as I mentioned. Just shot this one probably 10 times maybe, nothing real crazy this time. You can kind of hit it with this gun scrubber a little bit if you want, but you need to make sure to oil it after that. That makes it really dry. It's kind of like a brake cleaner for guns, if anybody's familiar with automotive type brake cleaner. It's kind of like what that gun scrubber is, so you just want to make sure you oil up after that. That stuff is really, can be quite harsh on your guns. So just make sure you oil it. Kind of get a little bit anal here with cleaning this residue off at times, so forgive me for that. Just like to make sure it's good. I'm gonna do a real deep clean on this one the next time I clean it, but definitely gonna be plenty enough for what we're doing today. It's looking really good. So we'll set that to the side as well. Over to the cylinder, which often requires the most work. I like to kind of brush this out. I got my nylon brush for this to really get down in these crevices. Just kind of like to go around, scrub that out really well. Scrub that really good. Make sure that's looking good. Alright. It's not too bad. It's a little cruddy down in there. I'm gonna take my brass pick and just kind of see if we can get any of that out of there. So like I said, this black powder, guys, and even if you're not shooting black powder, I shoot real black powder. I like to shoot GoX. I do shoot the Schutzen, the Schutzen black powder. I also shoot the Grafton Sons, which I think is made by Schutzen, if I understand right. So, but it's all really, really corrosive and harsh on metal. So you always want to make sure you guys clean it really, really well to avoid any of that corrosion and all that good stuff, because that's certainly not anything you want to be going on with your guns. You don't want to go pick one up and next thing you know, it's rusty and seized up because you couldn't be bothered to clean it the last time you took it out. But definitely make sure you do that. Just kind of run this down in there and see what we're looking like. You can clean these guns for a long time and oftentimes still run a patch down in there and just pull out all kinds of residue. They just get so dirty and fouled up, but it's really not too bad. Take a little bit of this gun scrubber here and kind of just spray down on these nipples. Kind of just blast some of that stuff out of there. Just a little shot down in there. Like I said, if you use that stuff, guys, make sure you definitely go back and definitely oil your guns, because that stuff is pretty harsh on them if you're not oiling them. So just be careful. You know, just be careful when you're using it. It is good though for blasting stuff away. Just make sure you oil afterwards. It can tend to dry the metal out really bad in your hands as well. Probably should be wearing some safety glasses when doing that, but I didn't, so bad on me. That's got the chambers looking pretty good. Not perfect, but they are looking a lot better than they did when we started, that's for sure. A whole lot better. Just kind of like to go in there at the back of the swab, this wooden tip here, and just kind of run that around. Pick up any of the loose stuff that I may see down in there. Again, we're looking pretty good. Like I said, sometimes it can be hard to get these things spotless. Anybody who's shot them probably definitely knows what I'm talking about. It can be very challenging to get perfectly clean, especially when your Q-tip breaks. So that's pretty much how I go about cleaning one of these guys. As far as the brass parts and everything, this one does have the steel back strap, but really not a lot of residue gets down in here. So I don't really worry about taking these down every time. I just take them down to about here and give them a good wipe down every so often. Every few range trips, I'll take this all the way down, everything out of the gun, and clean them really well. But this time wasn't really a really dirty trip. So you can see this one too, just not really bad. It's just old residue, but nothing really bad. So still looking really good here. But anyway, guys, just kind of a quick look into how I clean these. Again, we had a Pieta 1860 Army, a Colt clone, and a Birdie 1849 Wells Fargo pocket model with the octagon barrel. This is a 31 caliber, and the 1860 is a 44 caliber, of course. So hope you guys enjoyed that little glimpse into cleaning these. Maybe not the most enjoyable video, but if you guys are anything like me, sometimes it's just fun to sit here and clean some guns, watch some videos, so make a video. But I appreciate you guys watching. Drop a comment if you have any questions. If I missed anything, got anything wrong, leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you didn't like it, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. You guys take it easy, catch you on the next video, and just keep shooting, guys. Have a good one.